And we're live. Thank you to everyone for our first ever fundraiser for the American Civil Liberties Union. We've already raised $261.
And Jenny was saying that banner on the bottom, 100% goes straight to ACLU. The only thing that gets taken 30% of is super chats to any of us. When we go live and you guys super chat, 30% of that goes to YouTube.
Yeah.
But
all fundraisers, 100% goes straight to the charity. And we're limited on who we can do fundraisers for. They have to be registered in YouTube as a 501c3. But the ACLU was in there, and I'm like, they have 53 and counting, because they keep filing like daily lawsuits against the Trump administration, a lot over immigration and our civil liberties. So, and they've won either stays or what do they call it? Temporary restraints on 27 of their cases.
Good. Yeah, because that clown just came out, did an interview the other day, and he said he doesn't know if he has to uphold the Constitution.
One of their big wins was the birthright citizenship. It's unconstitutional, trying to dismantle our Constitution. So, any announcements, anybody, before we get into?
For those asking in the chat, it's like Transylvania here. So I have the window open and I'm freezing myself. That's what I have on my robe.
And I'm hot. Look how red my face is.
I'm trying to be cold. And I think I'm achieving that. So I like it. Cool. It's nice and like really misty, super foggy, very cold. But it's really not like that inland. It's probably just on the coast. But
we're going up and down temperature-wise here in Illinois. Like warm one day. I think last Sunday or last Monday, because I had to mow for the first time, it was 80 degrees, 81, something like that, and then dropped the rest of the week.
I'm not looking forward to the summer. I hate the summer. I hate it so bad.
Me too. Yep.
I prefer the cool.
Yeah, me too. Generally, you and I mean, we don't technically live that far away from each other, generally speaking.
Maybe an hour apart. Hour and a half.
All right, I got out my pulp tarot because it has the most criminals. So there you go.
I was asking Johnny if he had a Garbage Pails Kid tarot, because I saw them and I was going to get them for your birthday, Johnny. Then you said yes.
You bought them.
I bought you the Garbage Pail Kids? Are you sure?
Had to, because I didn't buy it. Somebody bought it. I've never seen the Garbage Pail Kids. I thought that was something that somebody made up, because all I've ever heard of was Cabbage Patch Kids. But yes, I do have the Garbage Pail Kid deck.
You have a Care Bears deck?
I have a Care Bears playing card deck, but not a tarot, because I don't think they make one. Maybe I should have made one. That's what that was supposed to be. Yeah.
Get the licensing and make one for them. Well, for those who don't know, we have Autumn from Black and Orange joining us tonight. She is live every day at noon Central Time on Black and Orange Tarot, 365 days a year.
Yep. If there's news, we get together, and it's news with friends. So there's fresh art every day, and I do nails and the whole. So we have something nice, and we're there together, and then we can go down in the muck. It's the news, and then we can come back up, and people are really, really nice. So we've got a great community. So yeah, noon every single day of the year. And recently we've been covering some recently we've been covering some questions, some topics that the mainstream media just seems to just be so
missing. I'm getting a lot of my news from YouTube channels I follow that do news. I love Adam Mockler, that younger guy that he's got his own channel. He shows up on Midas Touch sometimes, but I get a lot of ideas from him and Occupy Democrats, and
excellent.
I get more detail than I get on the regular news. And now, Rachel's going back to one night a week. Oh God, I can't take it. So, Becca, what you got going on this week?
Nothing.
She's got a couple of GTs to do with y'all, but she hasn't had a chance yet.
Haven't had a chance. It's Peanut's birthday this week.
Happy birthday.
He'll be 50. He's turning 50. So
Oh, big 50. Happy birthday, Peanut.
we're having a big party. So it's been slowly prepping the house and doing all that stuff. So I've been busy after work. Like yesterday, he wanted me to go to 2 parties. I was like, no, that's too many. I ain't leaving the house. So I cleaned like the kitchen and the pool room and the living room. And I still have the main room, the dining room up here, all the bathrooms. He painted the bathroom downstairs. That's where Praxie got her white face from just now. But just prepping because it's supposed to be a lot of people. So I'll be busy with that this week after work. So I don't anticipate being able to come online because I'll be busy doing all that stuff. But
Next week is Mother's Day.
mm-hmm.
For those who were...
My mom's birthday was Friday. And that was rough. That was rough. She would have been 76. But I got her some flowers and stuff, and it is what it is. So
remember the good times.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Johnny, you're still doing classes right now?
Yes, we got 1 week to go. Actually, next week is the last one.
You have a new one starting in June, I think?
1st. Yes. If you want a spot, just email me, terrellsapprentice@gmail.com. We're not taking payments just yet. We're just taking reservations. And that's all I got.
I saw
I am going to go live sometime this week. I don't know, possibly tomorrow or Tuesday or something like that. I think Tuesday. No, tomorrow's my off day. So tomorrow, gossip. No politics. It's all gossip. It's all trash. That's what we're
Good.
those are good videos.
Not enough gossip. Is that what Lena says?
Too much news, not enough gossip. So I got some gossip we'll talk about tomorrow.
I
From
got
petty
an
boots
email.
to messy boots.
I got an email. Dr. Victoria Skirbo. She's starting a Kabbalah class in May, but I don't know, like, if it's on a night that I could do or not.
Dr. Victoria Scarabo from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Massachusetts. You got to say it right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the whole thing. It always sounds like something's missing if you don't say the whole thing. She announced it on her morning astrology thing. We just have crazy astrology going on right now, and you can tell we just have craziness going on in the world.
Pluto went retrograde today. So digging things up, it's actually, so now it's going back over ground it's already covered. It's going to stay in Aquarius, but it's going back. It's like you go to leave the house and you stop and you take a few steps back and you're like, did I remember that paperwork? Did I put, water down for the cats? Did I, you're cleaning up this stuff you might have missed, and then you move forward again. And so Pluto is going to go back and see what it's missed that it can dig up.
Can we cover someone else up? Can we go back and just cover him? For those who aren't aware, if you're getting ready to travel, the Smart ID is being required on Wednesday, beginning Wednesday. So you have to have the Smart ID or a passport to fly within the United States.
That whole thing is so stupid.
It is.
They have such huge lines in Chicago for it. I mean, like people are having to wait 2 to 3 hours just to get in, and hoping they have the right documents with them to get it. And then if they don't, they got to come back again. They are open an emergency center trying to catch up with some of it. And I'm like, I can't get an appointment out here in the burbs to get it. So I'm going to have to go on a Saturday and wait in line. And I work on Saturday, so I'm not going to be able to wait, 2-3 hours.
And it's domestic travel.
It's domestic travel.
That's what makes the whole thing so stupid.
Good Lord.
It's not helping anything. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And costing us money. I mean, the Smart ID, I think is $60 or $65.
Yeah, it's more expensive than a license.
Yeah. Well, I had to license renewal. I had to pay for that and get my new license so I can drive, and couldn't get an appointment, to get the Smart ID. So I'm going to have to go back and redo before I travel to Portland.
Cat Lady, a Smart ID, it is like a driver's license, but you have to, it's just short of getting a passport. You have to show your birth certificate. You have to show just all of this paperwork.
Your Smart ID is going to have one little stamp up here that your regular ID does not have. It's going to be the only difference. It's going to have security measures in it, but it's going to have a little stamp right up here. That's going to be your only difference.
So
I just don't understand the point. I don't.
There's no point.
It's stupid.
Security.
Yes, you can fly with a passport, because a passport is actually a better ID than a real ID.
It trumps everything. And it lasts for 10 years.
Yeah, it's on your driver's license. It's just a little extra. Ping! It's a Smart real ID. So make sure you check out the requirements paperwork-wise before you go in to get one. So anyone coming to my seminar in October, make sure you've got one or a passport. I'm going both roads because I let my passport expire for the first time in like 45 years. I've never been without a passport. But I let it expire in 2015 when I wasn't traveling anymore internationally for work. So I may just try to get a new passport and call it a day.
I filled out paperwork for a new passport, but I know they're backed up, and it's like I'll just wait. I don't travel, so.
So we're foregoing the super chats tonight for our ACLU fundraiser. Thank you all for joining us. We're already up to $1,416. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm sure the ACLU is very appreciative of any help. Election Truth Alliance is also a 501c3, but they are not registered in YouTube yet. So I might have to do one for them. They're doing lawsuits over the funny numbers in the election, all the data that they've been looking at. So may have to do one down the road if they'll get registered on YouTube.
Did you see that video I sent you with Eric Swalwell from that podcast?
Yeah. Once again, Trump said, they rigged it so good. You got me another 4 years because they rigged it. He just keeps saying it over and over.
And then
when he tells the truth, nobody believes him. When he lies, they believe him. Yeah.
When on his 100 days rally, he went into full detail about what him and Musk. It was. I have the video. Hold on. I have the video if you don't mind me playing it.
My friend Sarah, she just turned around the other day. She said, I could not do what you do. I could not go this into the news every day. If I did, my eyes would be permanently rolled back in my head.
Yeah.
I'd be staring at my brain constantly. Just
Hold on. Where did it go? Where did it go? I know I have it because I screen recorded it and sent it to you.
Yeah, I know they're investigating Elon and what he did in Pennsylvania, but it's like, come on, he keeps saying it over and over. Why aren't you doing a full out war on this?
He said the words, if we didn't rig it, you wouldn't have me for another 4 years.
Oh, and then this one's even better. This one's from his his 100-day rally in Michigan that had more protesters outside.
That one that Johnny just quoted was from the prayer service.
Yeah,
that morning.
the prayer service. This one was from his 100-day rally. Okay,
Michigan.
Elon Musk, and I was sitting with Dana White and Elon Musk, and I'm watching the numbers in Pennsylvania, and we're winning so easily. Then all of a sudden it flatlined. And I said, I think they're cheating again. Look at this. What's going on? I think they're cheating again. And Elon looked at us. He goes, no, you're going to win. They just don't know it yet. And about 15 minutes later, we won, sort of crazy.
15 minutes later.
Dana White, as in UFC Dana White?
He said Dana White. Dana White. So that's the only UFC. That's the UFC person is the only Dana White I know.
Because what is he doing?
I don't know. But he was sitting there with Dana White and he was freaking out because it flatlined. But then Elon Musk said, oh, you've won. They just don't know it yet. It's just.
Well,
It's
he's
like
all tied in with the wrestlers and stuff. The lady that was married to the guy that.
She's still
McMahon, Linda McMahon.
Yeah, McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he likes these wrestler guys, so wonder what Dana White did helping him.
I don't know.
Let's start there. Dana White, were you involved in rigging the election? Yeah, not to be confused with Paula White. All good names. Dana White doesn't have any angels in Africa.
I love that video. The guy put himself in, just wandering around behind her. Angels in Africa, angels in Africa.
Oh, Dana White had a video punching his wife in the face. Got it.
He's got a fascination with hitting people in the face. He's got a new show called Slap Fight or something stupid like that too, where two grown men literally slap each other as hard as they can, and the first one to give up loses. Yeah, it's that Dana White, because they're at the little UFC thing. There's Elon is right there, and then there's Trump and Dana White. I don't know if it's the same Dana White that was with him on election day, but there he is.
They're saying in the chat that Felon 45 wants to reopen Alcatraz to put people in there. That's reserved for him. That's where we're going to put him.
I don't know. Does Dana White hasn't the power? It is a position to really rig things.
He's connected with any of these hacking groups.
I gotta know, Jen. If anything, he was there for his own ambitions, but he wasn't involved with that whole fiasco. He was not part of that little entourage of.
Yeah, he gave money to the corrupt leader, but maybe under the pretense of his fighting wrestling thing, he's given him donations. I'm getting.
I don't think he was a part.
Roxy.
Oh, the puppy dog. Hello, sweetheart.
She's got white right here because she's touched her.
Been renovating.
She was renovating. She was painting the house, huh? Mm-hmm. My little assistant helping me read the cards, huh, baby? Look, it's all your friends. They want to say hi to you. See?
Well, I think we got to go here first. Poopy Pants, the first, impersonating the Pope, pissing off all the Catholics. No taste at all. They're in their 9-day mourning period still over Pope Francis.
I mean, this guy makes trailer park trash look GQ. That's how low rent he is. I mean, it's just.
Does he want to take over the Vatican? Another grift that, like, he wants Greenland and Canada and the Panama Canal, and does he want to take over the Vatican?
I'm not Catholic, so I wouldn't personally offend it, because I mean they do it to Jesus all the time. Jesus got a trucker hat on, or he's always in some odd position to where they do it to Jesus, they do it to Allah, they do it to whoever, whatever. My problem was the national embarrassment of it all.
Yes.
When you've just been to the funeral.
Like Johnny's saying, I'm a recovering Catholic. I don't buy into any of that nonsense or any nonsense that any church is selling. But it was the national embarrassment of it. And then to see Lindsey Graham over there, that whole post I sent you with Lindsey Graham saying that it would be fantastic. We're talking about a convicted felon who is the walking embodiment of every single one of the 7 deadly sins. Is quite possibly, arguably, the Antichrist himself.
I'm going to respectfully push back on that, because he's not important enough. He really isn't.
If you read the
He's
book
too
of Daniel,
stupid to be the Antichrist.
if you read the book of Daniel's, there's like 11 things on there that fit him to the T. And I don't mean Antichrist as in the devil. I'm talking about Antichrist as in everything you should not be. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I don't believe in God and the devil. This whole, it's the Antichrist. In that sense, no. I'm talking Antichrist as in a person who is completely opposite of Christ.
He is your example of what not to do and what not to be.
And yes, all 7 deadly sins. Pride, greed, wrath. Yeah.
Lust, envy, all of it. All of it.
Oh my God, the major arcana coming out. What you got him?
So, Pope Donald the Dumb, also known as Saint Upid, I read recently, it might have been John Bolton with his mustache Duke, as I call him. It was him or it was somebody else who's actually worked directly with Trump, who said he isn't a 10-year-old, he's a 1-year-old. Absolutely everything is to get him attention. That is his guiding philosophy. That is the only thing he really wants. And this was just to try to get attention. He went to that funeral and he wasn't the center of attention, which that drives him crazy, and the world. And it was just like, no. So he wanted to stir things up, and he's offended Catholics, but this is a refusal of decency, and it would also be a poke in the eye to Biden, but it makes him look big.
Well, his own VP is Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about the guy who held the Bible upside down and backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What you get, Johnny?
You think he can't embarrass us anymore? He finds a way to
He will find a way. I think his brain is melting. Well, I probably don't think, I probably know, but I'm going to say think. His brain is melting. The 9 of Swords is fear and anxiety, that type of thing. The Four of Swords is a resting retreat. This would be your actual funeral too. It's not about him, but it should be. Whatever's going on. If they say tomorrow that Godzilla is awakened, he's going to paint himself green and put spikes on his back. It has to be about
fighting
him.
Godzilla.
Yes. There is the Five of Wands and the Nine of Swords. There's a conflict, but it's in here. Everything has to be about him. There's your funeral right there. Everything has to be about him. The Queen of Pentacles, that thing you cherish, and nourish. The Queen sits in her chair. She's got a pentacle in her hand. What is about him? Everything. And if it's not, it would be. The problem is, you don't have people around him to tell him otherwise. That's what his problem is. It's not about you.
Even if you tell him this is in poor taste, he's going to do it. He's going to do it anyway because you can't tell him what to do.
Like Jenny and I were talking in the backstage. I said, tell him he's Pope. Give him the cape, the hat, and everything. Take him to Chuck E. Cheese and dump him in that little pool with the balls in it. Maybe he'll freaking drown.
I told you I would vote for him to be Pope if his first official act is to have a meeting with J.D. Vance. Then you go right ahead. You can be the Pope all you want to. You can be all the popes. Your first official business, have a meeting with the Pope killer, and I'll be all right.
He's the small little narcissist. He isn't the King of Swords. Yes, he wanted to be Pope. Yes, but at the root of this, all the corruption and evil and the devil. Yes, in secret, he would like to be in the Vatican. And it's coming from all the rejection he felt when he was overseas. It's also manipulation because he's probably going to sell Pope Poopy Pants cards, his grift. He's going to make money off that image, just like he made money off his mugshot. So yeah, he thinks he can climb to higher ground with this, and access that money too. So yeah,
just keep in mind this is the same man who also wants a Purple Heart.
A draft.
Not knowing how you get one, but wants one.
A draft dodger at that.
Wants a Purple Heart.
A draft dodger insurrectionist wants a Purple Heart. Yeah.
A draft dodger insurrectionist who wants a military parade.
Wants a Purple Heart.
I get that it's self-serving. It's a self-serving grift. The ship, the clover, and the snake. Self-serving grift. Does he want to be Pope? No. Just like he doesn't want to be president. He's cosplaying. He's cosplaying right now. Dictator. He has spent how much? He's been in office a little over 100 days. How many of those days has he been out golfing on our taxpayer dollar?
25% of the time.
25% of the time. It should be higher. It's probably closer to 75. So it's just it's a self-serving grift. That's all.
So Pope Francis always had some words for Trump, and talking about helping those who are impoverished. Is he gonna maybe haunt Trump a little bit from the other side?
I'll pull cards, but I don't feel him haunting or coming back in any way.
You need a sense of awareness, I think, to be haunted.
I mean, we're talking about a neurosyphilitic brain.
His brain is damaged and drugged. He didn't care nothing about haunting.
There's so many holes in that brain. It looks Swiss cheese. Look horrible.
Right before my noon live stream at about 11:40, I have on the Stay Calm channel, we get together and we do some simple kind of stretching in our chairs and calming breathing and channeling just positive, high vibration energy. And it's really been helpful. But I got to tell you, he's so on the material plane, and he's not he's as sensitive as a brick. So, but I actually don't feel Francis. He seems very much where he is.
I get the mother of one of his children, and it's because it's a close relationship. This person is dead though, with the 10 of Swords. I don't think it's Ivanka though, so he may have a child that don't nobody know about, but it's a woman here, and it could be her because it's a woman of means though. But the mother of his child is the one that's around him. Whether she's doing things or not, because she does feel betrayed, I don't know, but she is around him. But he still would have to be prescient enough to even know that there's such a thing as ghosts, let alone have one around you. But that's what I get.
I get Pope Francis tries to bring change for the impoverished, even from the other side. He's transitioning, but he tries to help the families of those that are impoverished. But I get what Donnie's getting, the mother in the family, the mother of the grifters around him all the time, trying to cause some chaos.
I get now. There's a new era for him in his life and the stars. Life as in spiritually. Child, stars, tree. It's the like a new chapter in his evolution, in his spiritual evolution. He's not. Jen, come on,
not messing with that kind of energy.
He's not going to come back here and try to unclog the toilet. Get out of here. Mm-mm.
Well, Two Dolls Donnie has his own little war on Christmas. Oh, so instead of 30 dolls, maybe your kid only gets $2 for Christmas.
I never thought that I would see the day where this dumbass gets MAGA to go full Marxist. You don't need all that stuff. You don't need to buy. You don't need to be consumer buying everything. I was like, holy crap. Holy crap. He's officially turned MAGA into a bunch of Marxists.
Because it's just another way to say, don't worry about your 401k. Just let me screw things up like I want to.
Don't worry about when you need to get new tires for your car or repairs on your vehicles or new windows or new roofing or new anything, because it won't be around. This is going to look like Cuba, where it's stuck in the 1950s because they don't have any trading partners. That's America. That's America.
You don't need new tires. Buy a little basketball pump and then fix it.
Get a horse. Why not? Get a horse.
Fix the flat.
Comrade Donald, yes, we will all be patient, comrade.
$2.
Comrade Donald and Miss Melania, who gives a fuck about Christmas?
And here's
total war on Christmas, and yet they accuse the Democrats of a war on Christmas.
And this is the part I don't understand. These MAGA nuts, the ones that I've been seeing on social media, are over the moon about the incoming recession. Over the moon. I'm like, you all have no idea. If this sticks the way it is, just because of the supply chain disruption, there's still going to be a period where we don't have stuff because of this moron. But they figure out a way to keep moving the goalpost like it's insane. And what they don't realize is that when they're going without, Trump and all his cronies, guess what? They can just hop on a plane and go somewhere else and get everything they need without paying a tariff.
That's right.
And they're
bring it
stocking up.
back duty free.
The rest of us can't do that. Those of us that live close enough to a border like Canada or Mexico, we might be able to go to a different country to get supplies that are not available here. But the rest, you think people in Alabama are going to hop on a plane to go to Canada?
They don't understand the fallout either. Vendors will lose money because they'll have nothing to sell to retailers. Retailers will lose bigly in the biggest time of the year, where they make the most money. And it looks like it's going to start at back to school and run straight through Christmas. So unemployment's going to go through the roof. they're going to be downsizing. There's a whole bunch of restaurants already filing bankruptcy. The latest one I heard was TGI Fridays. So nobody's going to have jobs. Nobody's going to have the money to spend, and a lot of companies going bankrupt. But
And
yeah, MAGA, this is great.
They're cheering it. They're cheering it on. Like the only difference between Donald Trump and Jim Jones is that this mother effer would charge you to drink the freaking Kool-Aid. That's the only difference. That's the only difference, Jen. These people have no idea the world of hurt they're in for. And somehow when it shows up on their doorstep, they will twist it because it's easier to believe that this is all for a reason instead of admitting that you got duped.
Yeah. It is easier to fool a man than convince a man he's been fooled. Mm-hmm. Fox News, most dangerous thing on earth, convinces them, though, that because they've said the narrative, I heard it a few times, that Donald Trump's tariffs are working because they're making $2 million a day on the tariffs. And so they're winning. That's what they're telling them, just like he said that they got more votes, just like he said that they're making more money, just like Elon comes out and says, I made $400 million in savings in one department and $900 million in another. Like they come out with all of these just pull out of the rear end numbers and they sell it to them and then they believe it.
Yeah.
But they're conditioned to believe it.
It's incredible.
Moskowitz just did a video with somebody on YouTube and he was talking about Doge supposedly saved 165 billion, but it cost 135 billion because of people they had to hire back and pay back wages to, and this and that, on and on. So the net savings was less than $30 million.
And Jen, what it's going to add to the deficit? What it's going to add to the trillions to the deficit? The GDP is already down 3%, and we haven't even gotten into the thick of it. And wait until countries start dumping bonds. Then what? When the dollar is worth as much as the dirt outside your house, then what? And these people will gladly continue to eat the shit sandwich he's serving up every day with a smile on their face and ask for seconds. It's incredible to me. Incredible.
So what will people think of Trump at Christmas time? I'll look at it that way. $2, Donnie. Lawrence O'Donnell named him that, gave him a mafia name. $2, Donnie. He doesn't even know what a doll costs,
With a heart 5 sizes too small. Like his hands.
Donnie hands.
Little itty bitty. Just little hands. Shall I?
Sure.
Here's the difference. We see it coming on our side. We are already buying a little extra wherever we can. We're already sharing recipes. We're already sharing video. We're already bracing ourselves, and that makes a big difference. Because if you're just in the cult and you're not listening, that's refusing to listen, then when suddenly you're out in the cold, we're just like, yeah, okay, well, we're making do with less. That judgment is not pretty, and that 3 of Swords isn't either. So they're gonna be mad, and they're gonna be worse off than we are just because of their mindset.
I'm telling you, like I've been saying this for weeks now, every time you can. And my heart goes out to people that are on fixed incomes that can't, but for those of you that can, every time you go to the store, stock up on the little things that are non-perishable or have a long shelf life. Check in on your elderly neighbors. because stuff's about to go real bad real quick, and nobody in Congress seems to give a damn because they're all too busy trying to let Pope wannabe dictator run free reign. So I'm just, I don't want to be an alarmist, but I'd rather than kind of like what happened with COVID when we were all like, oh crap, and then supply chain issues, except this time he did this, So I get, how will they feel about Trump by Christmas? Out. He's out of the picture. It's clouds, Clover, Snake Mountain, and then man. He's out of the picture. The trouble that we're in by then, because this is big trouble, an opportunity that was just wasted, opportunities that he messed up because of lies and blockages and delays. He's out of the picture by then, but we still have the mess. Do you see what I'm saying?
He's not there. What are you getting, Johnny?
I get this is someone else's fault.
Let's blame Biden again.
So it'll be one of two things. Either you don't blame him or they find a scapegoat by that time. Because there is a lot of confusion, Seven of Cups and the Two of Swords. They don't know who to blame. They do. Two of Swords is not oblivious. Two of Swords blinds themselves because they don't want a consequence. But they know deep down, if they thought about it, who is who and what is what. But the Six of Wands and the Ace of Cups, there's a new person to blame, someone at the center of attention here. This is someone we don't have right now in charge, but that's who they stick it to. The Four of Pentacles, it becomes their problem, whoever it is. So if he's got a commerce secretary or whoever it is that they want to stick it to, then there you go.
Well, to your point, Johnny, Rand Paul has already come out and said the quiet part out loud. He doesn't care that we're going to suffer.
No.
It's that the Republicans lost power for 60 years the last time they did this. So tell us you don't give a crap without saying you don't give a crap.
Rand Paul, who's delivered letters to Putin for you,
Yes,
has come out and spoken out against you. Hellfire is over.
who was the carrier pigeon, Jen? He was the carrier pigeon.
Literally.
He strapped a little letter on my ankle and take it over for you. They're going to look at him like he's the thief. I think he's gone by that's dead and buried. The truth will be coming out about what Republicans have been doing for a long time. And I get that there's someone new coming forward. There's an abundance of corruption that's brought out. I think it's over moving votes. I think more is going to come out about that. So whether we get some information from somebody talking, whistleblower, they're going to look at him as a traitor.
Well, there's also, we need to not forget, there's a budget coming. And it's going to be ugly.
Yeah. Adding trillions to our debt, like he did the last time.
Which Rand Paul also called out. Had a little speech on the floor and everything, and said about the tons of money that's going to be added to the debt. It's like, oh, you care now? For what reason?
So, Mike Waltz, the NSA director that's out, they're saying Trump is nominating him for UN ambassador, which is what Elise Stefanik was supposed to be, but then he pulled back on that because he realized he'd lose too many votes in the House. I didn't realize there's a $19 million condo that comes with that in New York City. $19 million condo they put them in when they're the UN ambassador. So is Mike going to get this position?
It's going to be another confirmation hearing. That should be entertaining.
It's like okay, I invited a news guy to a signal chat where we were talking about a war action, and you're going to have me go and talk to all these other countries? Yeah, at the
And
UN.
mind you, Democrats keep voting for these people too. There's a handful, but still, it should be done.
Some of them.
Yeah.
They did not vote for Headset.
I mean, who would?
But I mean,
The DUI out there.
he didn't get rid of Headset. He has to go down a notch, and let's blame it on Mike. And gotta have somebody to blame. But Mike, I'll take care of you. I'll set you up in this $19 million penthouse in Manhattan. Give you a title.
Looks like it. There's a Lovers, Three of Cups, Ace of Swords. Will he stay? Yeah, I don't know. There's the Eight of Cups, so he'll leave when all the laundry's done. But there's the Lovers, Three of Cups in the Ace of Swords. So looks positive.
Yeah, it is going to be brutal. It is absolutely going to be brutal. Democrats will be making very, very good points. But the Republicans decide to give him this charity job. There's the star, because he's the star.
Yeah. There's Trump trying to break everything down in the government. It's like, okay, yeah, so he shifted information around, but Trump's not accepting that. That's not his truth, so he makes him a star. The only constriction that might hit Mike is if somebody dies in the government before he gets the post.
Oscar the Grouch can get a post in this administration at this point. Anybody. All you have to do is either flatter him or have known him. Well, except Rudy Giuliani, apparently they won't return his phone calls, but everybody else.
Well, Oscar the Grouch is the cousin or nephew of the Sesame Street character based on Trump. You remember that? With the hair and the
Donald Grump or something.
Yeah, exactly. Grump Tower. Just a bunch of trash cans on ledges and another higher ledge with more trash cans.
That's him.
The big blonde hair and yeah. Ronald Grump. Thank you, Never Never.
So the Willard Hotel, which had all the big meetings with Don Jr. and Steve Bannon and everybody the night before January 6th. Well, now they've partnered with Don Jr. and they're creating a private club at the Willard Hotel called the Executive Branch. And it costs you $500,000 to join. So you can go have cocktails at the Executive Branch and with other influential people. Please, protesters in DC, go protest the Willard Hotel. Just stand out there all the damn time like you did with Tesla. How's this going to go for them?
You know, I think Johnny, I think you should get the $19 million condo, and Jen Lynn, you should get the $500,000. And I think that we have Leslie. There's Lucky Girl. There's Rita. There's Jennifer.
The money being spent on his birthday parade, Mr. Bone Spurs, could definitely be given to the Veterans Association.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been in one of these things before where everybody's got a cigar and cognac and sitting on these gigantically hard chairs, and it's the most pretentious, fakest thing you have ever experienced in your whole life. It's perfect for them. It's full of people that pretending to be somebody else because who they are in real life is not special. That's all they want. They just want to be important. They want to be special. Now, these in particular people want to be criminal and special, but Deep down, that's all they really want, is for somebody to know their name like Cheers. That's all. That's all they really want. I get the Chariot. They're going to draw in who they are supposed to because this is specific money. This is not a country club. This is not a club to people who can just wander in because you got half a meal. You have to have a name. You have to be specific. Dana White is hanging out with Donald Trump because he's buying access. When Michael Cohen was there, he sold access to many people. I worked for AT&T at the time. He sold it to them too. Eight of Pentacles, King of Wands. This is like a work meeting. They just need access to people. And the Three of Cups tells me that this is not a big community of people. It's a small niche. There's your Epstein type people. There's these walk of life types of people are there. Most pretentious and fakest thing you have ever seen them. It is not a room you want to be in.
People forget you can't take it with you. When is enough? You can't take it with you. Why not try to do something good with your money? What are you getting out of?
Yeah, the people you want to be around are not going to be there. But they basically they want to be around their own kind and the absolute faithful and their strength and sitting pretty and all that smugness. They're right there. The hotel is going to get a cut of this, and it's probably going to be more money that keeps them afloat, even if their booking levels go down a bit. Because they would know that doing something so partisan would be hard on their business. But it's probably that high. I mean, that's more than, isn't that, I thought Mar-a-Lago, was it up to 250,000 or did it go up to 400? But at one point, that would be double what it was to be a member at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah. It used to be 250. I'm not sure if it went up.
So, yeah, but I totally agree with you, Johnny. No thanks. Nope.
It's Don Jr. and the loser, trying to figure out where they can make money from, where they can grift from, while betraying the country. It's definitely appealing to and bullying, pushing the foreign influence and the foreign money. So Qatar, who's opening a new golf course for Trump and villas for Trump, and the Saudis who gave $2 billion to Kushner, so on and on and on. It's doing what they've been doing, and it's stealing and it's money grabbing and trying to get attention while they're doing it. But somewhere down the road, I don't know, Don Jr., you better be careful, because somebody you're connected to causes you to get an indictment. So,
ooh,
somewhere down the road, your grift catches up with you a little bit.
I have to share, Jennifer Parr said they have to pay that much to pretend to have friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Nobody wants to be around them. We're up to $2,076. Thank you so much for your donations to the American Civil Liberties Union.
Thank you.
By the way, the donate button will stay active indefinitely, so you can come back in a month or 2 months or whatever. That button will still be active. Thank you so much for your generosity.
Saving democracy.
Saving democracy, one lawsuit at a time. Pam Bondi says Garcia's wife is happy he isn't coming back because she acts like an abused wife. She's very happy that he's not coming back. That's her excuse. I'm protecting his wife now by not bringing him back. Like, I could have him brought back. But no, she's very happy that he's not coming back. I don't know about you, but every time I see her, she's talking about her children and how many days it's been, and she's in tears, and doesn't strike me as an abused wife.
Let's say, for the sake of a ridiculous argument, that he is a horrible person to his wife and his kids. At this point, we're still talking about something beyond that point.
Yeah,
You took
he was
someone
still
and sent them away when you had no cause to do so.
with no due process, which is why we're fundraising for ACLU tonight with
Like,
no
you've
due process.
overshot this at this point.
So I kind of want to look at two things because we talked about this in the pre-show. Pam Bondi, her law license comes through Florida. So I want to look at, will she get disbarred for some of the illegal things she's doing? But I kind of also want to look at, will this bite her in the butt? Acting like she knows what's going on in Garcia's wife's head and heart.
So if you want to send criminals away, you could have started with the orange one. That'd have been all right. Then I would have cheered. I know two wrongs don't make a right, but still. And shout out to Canada for doing the right thing, and Australia for doing the right thing. They won their elections. Even Polyev, who was the conservative there in Canada, told Donald Trump to mind his business. But stay vigilant, though, because you called him Maple Syrup MAGA because you had a reference. The reference is on your doorstep, so stay vigilant.
Okay, what I am getting is ultimately at some point she's going to leave, but that is way down. And until then, Trump, the terracotta toad himself, he thinks she's just doing a great job. And it doesn't matter that the whole law license thing is a problem. It's Florida. And right now there are too many Republicans who have power. Too much influence. The puppy dog. But they do not have a cute Braxy. She'll leave eventually, but right now she can go out there and make a fool of herself all the time and get rewarded for it. Until the courts do something about it.
I get Queen of Swords, Eight of Swords. She'll still have her license, I believe. Actually, with the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Wands is how it ends. I think she even has a better job when she leaves there, because her celebrity has risen, and so she'll be an asset to someone. Mind you, she was also the AG of Florida. She's the one that got $25 million out of Trump University, but they were asking for more, but that's what she got. So she'll be fine, I think.
I'm not sure what I'm getting. It's like they're like, look at something different. They're, her judgment and her betrayal to people and how she talks. It's all based on money and power. She's getting kickbacks from somewhere. She's making money off this, making money maybe off shipping people to El Salvador. I don't know. But it has something to do with transportation. So there's something on the backside that might send problems her way. The work that she's done.
Her getting kickback for illegally deporting people.
Yeah, or maybe the contract, that was gotten with El Salvador. There's something money-wise. She's involved in the work of it. There's something money-wise, and there's a lot of money, a lot that she's making off this. So that could get sticky down the road. Stephen Miller's former company, America First Legal, is suing Chief Justice John Roberts because he's over the judicial branch, and what he's trying to do is get power over the judicial branch and the federal branches of DOJ and saying they're all under the executive branch and under the Freedom of Information Act. They're suing Chief Justice John Roberts. So how's this going to go?
You know
It doesn't
what?
have a legal leg to stand on because it's separate from executive branch.
You know what? I love this for John Roberts. I really, really do. I have never
Got to lawyer up.
I've never liked that guy ever, but I'm so happy. I am so happy that now he gets to understand the mental gymnastics he had to perform to pen up that opinion that Trump has all the powers, for what is it, official acts.
Yeah. Now Stephen Miller resigned from there when he went into the White House, but he started that group, America First Legal. So he's behind this lawsuit. I'm sure he's like, okay, go now, go sue Roberts now.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we want you to do. So even though he's not with the company anymore, you better believe he's behind it.
Nazi Ferratu needs to take several seats. Yeah, that's whatever he's doing. It's awful, and he's doing it because he's in that awful bubble that is Stephen Miller. There's a Justice card and the Three of Swords, and yeah, not going to go well. In fact, I was like, okay, Three of Swords. Is there any chance it could be the judicial branch taking a hit? And it was him on the defensive, Miller on the defensive. There's a legal decision. Tower. No, this will not go well. Not even a little.
I love this for him, though, Autumn. I really do. I really do. Take note. I like Beer and the other guy over there and The Handmaid's Tale. Take note. Because this is the monster you all helped to create.
Mm-hmm.
I get somebody's about to be impeached. Scythe Letter Man. I asked, will he be successful in suing John Roberts? I get impeachment for a man. This man. I don't know if this is Trump or when this doesn't work, they'll try to impeach Roberts. I don't know. But I'm getting, there's a man that's going to be receiving impeachment. I don't know who it is, so don't put words in my mouth. I'm just saying.
Yeah. When Roberts goes back and forth and how he's voting, I could see them getting with the House and saying, okay, y'all need to take John Roberts out, which is the only way to get rid of a Supreme Court justice. We're going to put somebody, further right on there, like another Clarence Thomas or Alito.
But you know what's going to be funny, though? This entire Supreme Court that Trump built his first term, those people are all beholden to Leonard Leo from the Heritage Foundation. And you know who has cases going before the Supreme Court? Leonard Leo. So all those justices are going to have to sit there and say, do we bite the hand that feeds us, or do we go after this guy and let it be our next? They painted themselves into that corner. They honestly did. So I don't feel a shred of anything for him. But I'm telling you, there's a man that's being impeached. So I don't know if it's Trump, where he takes this too far, and Leonard Leo and the powers that be start calling up Congress and saying, impeach that mother effer. Or if they're going to move an impeachment towards Roberts. I don't know.
Go, Johnny.
No, I don't think this is a lawsuit in the official term. I think it's like tempering the water. And there's something else they would like to do, or a message they would like to send type of thing. And it's probably being sent this way. The Seven of Cups, there's something else going on there. The Five of Cups and the Two of Wands, almost to make a person feel regretful for something. That's like the ultimate goal here. There's money being passed around between person to person to sort of invest in this venture. And then there's the Two of Swords and the Three of Swords trying to block someone from independence, if you will. But this is like betrayal because it's from your own side. And so it's kind of testing the waters to see if a person fights back or how they fight back or what they say or what their opinions are going to be. Because mind you, the conservative judges, okay, fine, but they're just going to turn on all the rest of them too. So Donald Trump sent out a message saying that he wanted 50,000 government employees, their positions to be government appointed everywhere, from labor to this to that to this to that. That way, everywhere, anywhere would fulfill his agenda. He wants all parts of the government to work that way. The Supreme Court, the House, the Senate, every federal job, every post office, everything. So he's going to come for them too, and he can find his way there by other people.
And
All
Johnny,
under the executive branch.
to further your point, they've already made a couple of threats to Supreme Court justices arresting them next.
Yeah.
So this is the bet y'all made. Lay in it.
Yeah. This is big, and I get in secret that trying to bring regrets to somebody they want to go away, shift them out. It's a balancing act here, casting judgment on Roberts. I feel like it's on Roberts. So this is a big fight. This is a big fight, and it's trying to bring something new to America. I'm getting. But it's a manipulation too. So
rein him in, but if you don't, then you're responsible for the results.
yeah, if you
Because
don't
you
rein
have
them
the
in,
power to do something, you just won't do it. So
Congress isn't doing it. So they're going to try to do it through the Supreme Court.
and as Obama said, imagine if I would have done any of this.
Thank you, Johnny.
Right.
Thank you. In a tan suit. If he would have done any of this in a tan suit.
I'm saying.
So they're also saying Stephen Miller is the number one candidate to replace Waltz as the NSA chief.
Dear God.
Can you imagine him in confirmation hearings?
I-
Mr.
you
Gray
know-
hair.
You know what? You know what? There's a part of me, there's a part of me that secretly hopes that he does get it. So when this mother effer breaks every law, including jaywalking, when the time comes to pay the piper, he's going to have a whole bunch of indictments. That's my only.
He's been so behind the scenes now that it's hard to make something stick to him.
Mhm.
But he's quite the little architect. I'm kind of with you on that, but it's like, and he gets so angry so quick. I can imagine him in any hearing.
He's a psychopath.
Lexi.
Mhm.
He can't get through an interview without yelling at the journalist.
Yeah.
He can't get through
Oh my
a single
gosh.
interview without yelling.
Somebody should spray him with water during the interview and have his fake hair melt off.
I told you he's got a bunch of skin squirrels in his basement. He keeps their eyelids in a little jar. That sucker is crazy. It's
Spray him
Every
with
time I look at him, all I hear is "Eye of Newt." Like somebody cast some spells on him. That guy is evil.
Mhm.
So is he going to get the NSA chief of staff?
oh Lord have mercy.
The angry young man.
Who is married with children.
Because how'd that happen?
Apparently, she's not much better.
Yeah, because you got to keep your eyes closed a long time. Lord Jesus.
Johnny, there's somebody for everyone.
That's what they say. Because Lord Donald Trump had 4 wives, so I guess so. Mm-mm.
4 wives and mistresses.
I still can't believe that disgusting PCOS reproduced.
Who would have a baby with him?
Not one crazy girl from the last time, remember?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Jenny.
How did this spawn? How many kids does Trump have? 5?
Oh my God.
They're saying there's reports now that they're speculating that Muscatina has over 100 children. Over 100 children.
You know, I don't even care. Go ahead. Because, you know, there's a part of me that feels bad for the baby's mothers, and then there's another part of me that said you slept with him because he had a bunch of money.
Or not.
Because what are you looking at right now?
I mean, based on that report, pardon my French, Jenny, but the botched dick extension thing that he has, I really think that he's gone through in vitro or something.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think he's doing it himself. I think it's artificial.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, we'd probably have a bunch of Stormy Daniels type comments talking about. Well, we already do because we know he has a faulty implant.
He plays with his forks. So there's that. There. I don't think so for Miller, but would he have an influence? Yeah. But someone's in charge. I just don't think it's him. But you never know. But I don't get him. I get something else that's going on there. I mean, I know this is the place for secrets, but it's something else going on. Keep in mind, of course, there's always something else going on because they need their agenda fulfilled because they fired people who were already there. The person who was there bipartisanly, and then they get rid of him to stick in who they want. And so, yes, there's an agenda there. Of course there is, but I don't think it's him. I think it's somebody else. Whoever it is still drunk on power, though, so you never know.
I don't see him getting it. That's the plan I get, but he wants. I'm almost getting like he's rejecting it because he wants power over the leader in the White House. So he wants to stay closer by Trump. So I think they'll change and nominate somebody else that's also an emissary for the king. But you know, loser Trump is about to go through some things.
Ooh, tell us more about that.
If he's not 6 feet under, I'd be shocked.
What did you get, Autumn? Is he gonna get the?
What all I'm getting, he's a tick, and he's dug in. I got the death card right in the middle, which would make me think he won't get it, but he's not going anywhere. He's going to have power one way or the other. He's going to be awful one way or the other. I'm just getting cards of it barely matters. Which it doesn't really answer the question, but that's what I'm getting. And he's a tick with the charisma of a viper.
I get that anchor letter bouquet. That's reading like a yes. There's some sort of an offer or bribe that's achieved to get him in. We'll see. I mean, they appointed WikiLeaks with no experience, who the entire military thinks is a freaking joke, against every single person that came out and said, do not make this man the Secretary of Defense. And
an alcoholic, wife beater, horrible person.
Sexual assaulter. And they're like, yeah, that's our guy. Go ahead.
Put him over defense.
Mm-hmm.
His own mama don't like him.
Yes.
Right, kitty.
His own mama said, don't make him. And they did it anyway. So I wouldn't, based on those cards, there's some sort of bribe or deal that was made to get him in.
Mercy.
I kind of want to do a big thing. Like, after this regime, is it going to be like what was happening, with Jack Smith? Are we going to see this whole big investigation and slow walking stuff through courts? Are we going to see a whole bunch of indictments? Or somebody going to finally get the balls to like throw these people in jail? They don't need due process. They haven't given due process to anybody else. Just throw them in jail.
If it's good for the goose.
Yeah. For entertainment purposes, only YouTube.
So what's the question? Will anybody in this regime be held accountable?
Will there be like a big blow up of lawsuits and indictments afterwards?
I don't have anything showing up afterwards. It would just be such a relief if they just went away. But
See that?
individually, there could be. Individually, yeah, there could be lawsuits. People who were in the pulp tarot, the Eight of Pentacles isn't just working. It's a con because he's not painting her. He got this lady to take her clothes off in the idea of that he was going to paint her. He's not painting her. He's just painting a simple symbol so he can look at the naked lady he tricked. And he's done it before because it's all over the wall. So there are some people who will face some legal problems. But it just ends with a lot of them, too many of them just walk away with more money. And that's what makes me crazy.
That not to go on a rant, but that's the kind of shit that got us in this mess to begin with.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it should happen that way.
We're not going to do it because decorum, because why would you give this man the grace that you know he would never pay you in return? I get the same thing. No success, end of a chapter, close the book. Success ends, knowledge, secrets, close the book. That's what I get. Even though there might be a lot of growing gossip for someone to move independently. Like people are going to demand that something be done because we've already been on the. So now you have this person that incited an insurrection against the 14th Amendment. They said, yeah, go ahead. And now he's doing it again. Are we going to say, yeah, go ahead again? You know what I mean? He's already set the precedent so many times that unless somebody rectifies it, even if he's dead, and they have to do this posthumously. I'm saying that because I got the coffin. Even if he's dead, you better still take him to trial, even if it's posthumously, because you do not want to set this example. We're already the laughing stock of the world. You know, so I'm just saying.
Because I think he'll be dead, but patients investigations will go on looking into how votes were shifted. I do think there will be quite a few legal cases that come forward, and for the work they did that's been going on for a long time. I'm getting like money laundering and stock market manipulation. What do you call that? The
Insider trading?
Insider trading. Thank you. And I get some people put on a no-fly list, like no travel for you.
I can't.
I think we will see.
And to the person, there was a comment in the chat. I forgot. I didn't catch the name, but they were saying this is why America will never be trusted again. Because you have other countries, Romania, Moldova, Germany, that did not put up with this. And here we are. Oh, we are the beacon of democracy. We are the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oops, we shit the bed and go ahead, do it again. Because we don't have the stones to hold you accountable. Unless you want us to be trusted ever again by our allies, you better do something. Because it's too big of a mess.
Well, you know? To be fair, Orban has been in power in Hungary for quite a while. So they didn't do so great when he first came in either.
We don't want to be like Hungary. We don't want to have, you know.
I stop it now, dip it in the bud.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tesla.
Johnny didn't go.
Oh, sorry, Johnny.
I think yes. I think it depends. It always depends. If you get a bulldog, like, let's say, like Lynn Kirshner, a person who sees wrong, calls the wrong, and would like to prosecute the wrong. fine. If you get a disabled Care Bear like Merrick Garland, then you get nothing until the very end. And then the legs under Jack Smith did an awesome job.
Yes, he did.
But his legs were cut out from under him because we waited too long. Even Mueller did a good job. But what he did is hand it to Congress, and Congress threw it in the trash. File 13, as we used to call it.
And Barr threw it in the trash.
Yes, but there's the Fool and the Empress. This is the beginning, and this is the expansion. There's a lot here, and it grows and grows and grows because, mind you, we're just in year 1, and we're just in April, just ending now. It's May, and they've already committed 435,000 crimes. There is somewhere within the administration the Four of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, Five of Swords, a lot of missing stuff and a lot of unsavory actions. The Five of Swords being your bully card and your dishonesty and your dishonor, win at all costs, all that stuff. There's a lot of criminality here. You know what I don't have here is justice. No Queen of Swords, no Justice card, no none of that. I got a lot of truth with the Ace of Swords, but I also got a lot of burden. It's a lot of work. However, if you enter into government, into those positions, you should anticipate that, especially if you are the head of anything. Being the head of household is a lot of work, let alone the head of the DOJ. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. But if you want to go after people who break the law, including those who had a position at some point, then sign up for it. But there is the Page of Swords, which means a lot of whistleblowers are going to come forward too, because it's in my word of solace. So a lot of people coming forward, a lot of information coming out, but who gets it depends on what they do with it.
And with all this, I want to say my silver lining is I know that his full support is roughly 25 to 27%. So when you have the majority of the country screaming at the top of their lungs to hold this man and everybody else around him accountable, you can only go so far turning the other cheek or turning a blind eye. Because what are you saying? Rules for thee, but not for me. You know, I mean, you can get killed by a cop for selling cigarettes on the corner like they did. What's his name? That one gentleman a few years ago. But yet you incite an insurrection and everybody around you, including yourself, is involved in levels of corruption we've never seen before. And you're going to be like, yeah, well, they're sorry. Nothing we can do. I mean, come on. If you want law and order, you better stick to law and order, or you're going to have a freaking uprising on your hands. Because it's gotten to the point where you can't piss down my back and tell me it's rain anymore.
We just had all the Republicans vote against stopping Trump from deporting American citizens. They're like, yeah, go ahead, send him to El Salvador.
Was that the House or did it pass the Senate?
Both, I thought.
No, there was one bill that the only reason it passed, it was because Mitch McConnell was out, Sheldon Whitehouse was out, and J.D. Vance had to come in and be
that was in the Senate. Yeah, J.D. Vance cast the tiebreaker, but they're voting this way like, yeah, sure, go ahead and deport American citizens. Go ahead and deport children, that are citizens.
Julie in the chat says, I vote for Becca for governor of California.
No, I don't have a law degree. Make me the AG and I will crack skulls. I am sick and tired of it at this point. Sick and tired.
Oh, the cards are infuriating.
I hate to keep going back to this, but you had an alleged person that popped a CEO, and you're going to bring down the entire force of the federal government on this kid's head with terrorism and going for the death penalty. Meanwhile, you have an insurrectionist, convicted felon con man who breaks the law on the daily basis. And go ahead.
Who got some kid unalived staging a attempt on his own life.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
that's okay, but don't take out these CEOs. Well, speaking of taking out CEOs, Tesla has been looking around for a new CEO. So
oh no, we
Now-
haven't been looking at all. No, we haven't. We're okay. Well, actually, instead of maybe like 3 headhunting companies, maybe we're only talking to 1 now. But no, we're not. We're not looking for a new CEO. Go ahead.
now that supposedly Elon has stepped down from Doge and focusing back on Tesla, are they bringing a new CEO in? Are they kicking Musk out? He's bad for the brand. Because this hate of Musk is not going to go away.
It doesn't matter who they put in there. That brand is done. It
Yeah.
is done.
Because Musk still has stock in it. It's like, we don't want him to succeed. We're going to belly up his company.
And just like I said, it's done. That opportunity is this right here would be like a really bad, these two, like a really bad weather event, tornadoes, hurricanes, that sort of thing. That's what's coming for Tesla. So even if they get a new CEO, this problem, there's no getting around it. It's there. If it was this way, yeah, you have a chance of rectifying the ship. The order that this is in, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Here's what you need, I think. I think this is what you need. Because there's a new leader that they would love to have emerge with the Strength card and the 6 of Wands. Somebody, anybody else. The 7 of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, though, this is the way forward. You don't know. The 7 of Cups is a confusion thing. This is my America card. I think your name is mud. Me personally. The 4 of Swords, though, and the Lovers, you need a Democrat that was somewhere around the same position as a Donald Trump to then try to rehabilitate your company. Because people vote with feelings and they buy with feelings too. And so if you can get someone to be the face instead of Nazi man, then maybe you could try to, I think personally, again, that it's over and done. But if you could go and collaborate, the 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, make that donation and collaborate with someone who is liked, beloved, and trusted, then it could help your brand. But if you don't go that route, you don't have to, but I don't see it working.
So what you're saying is they should go the way of Target and call up the preacher guy. What's his name? The black guy that's always on the TV. That Target's been calling, trying to get them to help them out of this DEI boycott they got themselves.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't hear that story.
Al Sharpton, there was rumors.
Oh, yeah. No, don't call him.
Are they trying to pray the DEI away?
They're trying to get Al Sharpton now to help them out.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. No, sir.
They're not done with Tesla yet. They're going to keep bullying and rallying, protesting around them until they are bankrupt. And all those agreements you got, all those little contracts you got, yeah, no, they're going to go away too. They're, done.
And it's not just here, Jenny. It's global. The entire world is boycotting Tesla.
Yeah. But I mean, they're still making billions off U.S. government, right? Off contracts.
Oh, yeah.
Those are going away too.
That's why he was there, to steal the money.
Uh-huh.
They're making money by selling the green credits to companies that pollute. That's the only reason they're still making any money. And what I've got is the Magician. Musk will be able to charm them for a little while, but I've got the Judgment card. You can't, the numbers don't lie. Is Tesla publicly traded? Carbon credits. Thank you, Robin E. Is Tesla publicly traded?
Yeah.
Because
their stock's been dropping through the floor.
That by law, they have to take care of the shareholders by law, which means they have to get rid of him. Mm-hmm. And it just gets, the cards here, he just gets weaker and weaker and weaker.
And it's not just, they said nothing when the Captain Ketamine was out there dancing around like a Teletubby throwing up Nazi salutes. They didn't say anything until until everybody started boycotting. To me, that says we're perfectly fine with this behavior. And by not saying anything, you're quietly endorsing that behavior. And the world took notice and said, F you and your little toy that is a horrible piece of crap that I don't even know how it's road safe here in America, and we're just not going to buy your stuff. That's going to be a huge thing to change, but I don't think they are.
They had 85 like pending legal issues, because they're not safe, and other issues going on, which Musk tried to get to go away by disbanding everybody that was investigating them.
Yeah.
So even if those 85 cases go away, your company's going under.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, that's Tesla, and there's Starlink and SpaceX and Neuralink, all funded by us, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And we're the latest toy that he gets to destroy.
Mm.
So, Mark Carney just got elected in Canada. How's he going to do against this regime? Is he going to be successful in
I'll pay him good money to punch Trump in the face. I'll tell you
keeping
that.
Canada strong? Keeping support for Canada?
I had read somewhere, Jenny, that not just Canada, but other EU states, countries are purposefully tariffing very specifically and strategically all the red states here in America. Very strategically.
Wow.
I'm like, good.
The businesses like Kentucky bourbon,
And not just that, but like certain minerals and other things that they get from the red states.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Donald Trump tweeted that Canadians should vote for the guy who has has Canada's best interest. It's paraphrasing, Canada's best interest at heart, and would make it the 51st state. And that's when Poilievre told Trump to mind his business. That's stay out of our election, please. And mind you, he does not want Canada to be the 51st state. It's a poke, and that's what he does. I think here, and that's the reason I say that, is I think here this is more verbal back and forth. And if I were Carney, I would not get into a verbal back and forth with a Carney, because there's the Knight of Wands and the Devil. This is what Donald Trump feeds off of: discord, back and forth, pettiness, childishness. Do what you need to do to protect Canada, because Canada did what it needed to do to get you reelected. So make sure that you do what you need to do to protect your people. Never mind what the people in the U.S. think about what Canada just did. If they take all American products off the shelf, whoop-de-doo. That's not our country. Therefore, that ain't our business. You do what you need to do for your people. What's going on down here, we shall settle at some point. But don't get into a back and forth, because that's what he feeds off of. I think you'll find, too, with the Three of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, he makes some very strong allies around the country, not here, but not around the country, but around the world. So he has some good conversations, but if I were him, I would stay out of the discord with Donald Trump. That he can't win that. It's like arguing facts with an idiot. So you can't do that.
Just Mark Carney, is he a lawyer or an economist? I know he has a PhD, but I'm not sure. Do I have any Canadian friends in the chat that can let me
what
know?
his background is he
I know the lady in Mexico, I think she's an environmental scientist or something. So you got two very well educated people against one person that can't sign. He's an economist.
Yeah, wasn't he Bank of England and then Bank of Canada?
I think so.
May I go?
Yeah.
I get that Mark Carney will be trusted and will be the new rising star. New trust with the dog here, rising with the storks, stars. His opponent, I'm not saying literally. I'm just saying.
I'm saying literally.
Yeah,
If these cards come out one more time, and what's on the bottom? Judgment, which is another transition card for me. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying he's going to be the rising star. The person that's in right now, they don't make any progress. He brings endings and losses. Child, storks, coffin, endings, losses, no progress, no movement forward. The guy that he's fighting against, that's the one that's the rising star. So I get how is he going to handle Trump? I get that he's the rising star and he brings Trump down, like ends it, So
yeah, I get he speaks truth to power, and that he will grow, his country. He'll grow the economy in your country, partnering with global leaders and structuring around a global other places besides the U.S. But he's going to be good for Canada. But somebody else is getting some tickets to the park. That's all I'm saying. Because I keep separating these cards and they keep coming back out.
Well, let them go. The rides are free.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the damage that Trump has done to relations with every other country is worse than we even know now.
Yeah.
The card for the reading is the death card. It's just the relationship is damaged, like every relationship Trump gets into, and he does. Yeah, he's a drama king, and he's doing this thing. But I've got the Hermit for Carney. I've got 3 of Cups. I guess Canadians, you're gonna get through this year a lot better than we will.
Mm-hmm.
He's already been very measured in his reactions, and he can see through a lot of the garbage. So I'm a little jealous.
It's like I said earlier, just when I think this SOB can't embarrass us enough, he finds a way to dig us even deeper.
Oh, yeah.
You have a guy that can't spell. He's a functioning illiterate going up against a person that has a PhD in economics. And you're talking tariffs as if that's the freaking magic wand.
$2 Donnie. $2
Everybody on the planet knows what a raging idiot you are. But in his own reality, and we're just all living in it,
He's more like Kindle Donnie because he doesn't have one of these.
I mean,
Comically incorrect. Mercy.
Oh my God. What an embarrassment.
Is Trump and Musk already selling our personal debt off overseas?
I gotta say though, I hate to say it this way because I don't want to sound like a spokesperson for Trump and Elon Musk, but everybody does. Every credit card company, every Facebook, every Instagram, everything does.
Every website that you go to tracks your cookies and sells all your stuff. Here in California, there's a law to where it doesn't matter what website you go to. They have to tell you what they're doing, so you have to agree or disagree to the cookies. I don't know if that's across all 81 states, but they.
By the way,
I don't get that, Jenny. I get that it's the reason that they have our data is because there's a registry and they want a list of people that are against conservatism for them to attack. Whip, lilies, fish. That's it. I don't think it's the data. I think it's a registry for those that oppose or argue people that are conservative so that they can fight to get those people off from the many and create over time a majority of conservatives. Does that make sense?
So they
I'd like to
can impose martial law on us.
I'd like to say for the record that I have, I think it's somewhere around 2,347 videos to say Donald Trump is an absolute disgrace and idiot. And I want to make certain that if it'll never get to the point where I'd be tired, but if I was, I want them to not have to look. They want to take me to court or any sort of due process, or just try to hold me accountable for speaking out against this fascist blankety blank. Right here, I've got nearly 2,500 videos saying he is a disgrace and an idiot. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yes, they've already. I got the card for the reading is temperance. This is already happening in general, but I do get at some point they're going to get in trouble for some of the other information that they've walked off with. It's not necessarily like the publicly stuff that like is known about us and our shopping habits and all the stuff about your address and what have you, and your phone number that you can get on the people search websites. This is something else. And somebody somewhere along the way ends up with the death card and the 9 of Wands feeling beaten up. And they took stuff they weren't supposed to.
What reason did they have to get into the Department of Energy? What reason did they have to get into the Pentagon and the Veterans Affairs? What reason did they have to get into socials? Do you see what I'm saying? They were sticking their noses with no clearance and no damn business as private citizens.
What you getting, Johnny?
I don't get money cards here. I get collection. Like they want information, but it's not just here. They're doing this everywhere. One question, keep in mind, if Mark Zuckerberg with an F walked up to you and said, "Can I use your phone?" What would you do? Like they all do it, but I don't see like selling. But at the same time, it doesn't really need to be sold. It just needs to be shared because they all have the same agenda. So I don't get money cards here though, but I do get collection of data, and there's nothing nice about it. It's not like they're trying to do surveys to see who likes strawberries and who likes oranges. So it's not harmless, but at the same time, I just don't get money.
I think, remember how Elon Musk had the voter rolls?
Yeah.
I think it's
and how Putin wanted them too.
Harvesting, but
similar to that they're harvesting all the data so that they have a more
harvesting who you support. Harvesting voter rolls is what I'm getting. There might be a little bit of kind of black market money laundering crap going on, especially with, that's Russia and my Putin cards. There might be a little bit of that, but it's more about getting into vote harvesting and who we support. And that's going to grow. That's going to continue. But somewhere down the road, this is going to blow up in their face and somebody's going to block them. So unfortunately, a lot of information is already out there. They start getting our social security numbers and all of that. By the way, if you have not visited the website Public Square, publicsquare.com tracks, and you have to be registered with them, approved, MAGA supporting businesses. So it's now being used against them by people like me who just went in last night and saw all the MAGA businesses around me. It's like, okay, not shopping there, not going there, not going there, not going to there, like everything from chiropractors to financial planners to, little shops, dog groomers, everything that are MAGA supporters. They have to pass a certain curriculum to get registered in there. And so if you go in the business and you say, okay, bars, restaurants, coffee shops, even I saw in there, my little bitty town of 4,000 had 4 registered MAGA businesses. We don't have that many businesses here, so it was crazy. But it was, I go 8 miles down the road and there's a whole bunch of them. So use publicsquare.com to boycott MAGA businesses while you can, while it's online, because Public Square makes their money from the businesses that they're registering. So not only can you affect the business itself, you can affect Public Square.
So they all, because see, that other thing that does it for the blue people, they just list blue companies. They don't buy into the software. But the Public Square thing charges these businesses for registering?
Yes.
Oh, good.
So they're paying to be on there. And then, like, if you go in there and they say, oh, you're MAGA, and if they try to deny it, it's like, no, you had to file all these forms to get registered on there as a MAGA business. It's like, yeah, no.
I love this for them. They're losing money on top of about to be boycotted by everybody to lose more money.
Contractors, all kinds of businesses. It's like, okay, you know, if I need a new gutters put on the house, I'll be checking. You know, I don't want to
making it easy. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I love this for them. Not only are you going to deal with the recession, but you're going to deal with the freaking boycott too. And I think it was Patrick. The website is publicsquare.com to check for local businesses that are MAGA supporters in your area.
While it's still up there, because now that some of the MAGA businesses are already being impacted by these people that are checking them out as the word is getting out, that Apple or that website will probably come down somewhere down the road. But yeah, check it out. It's very enlightening.
Like the sex offender registry.
Yeah. It's exactly what it is.
Shows you all the horrible people in your neighborhood.
Even my local chiropractor in my little town, he's registered on there. I'm like,
oh God.
And that's the thing. They're proud of it. They don't see that they're proud of it because you know, the cult.
Yeah. So publicsquare.com. Don't miss out. You don't have to join or anything. They don't get your email address, nothing like that. You know, you type in your zip code, but you can see around you. Like, yeah, I'm out in the boondocks, so most of my shopping is 8 miles away. So I was looking at the other towns around me, and it's like, oh my God, these idiots.
Yep.
Hey.
Yeah.
Bar is saying taco shop in her town. Let me say one thing. All these MAGA numbnuts, I better not see you celebrating Cinco de Mayo or eating tacos or enchiladas, or I'm not Mexican, I'm Cuban, but I'm just saying you hate them so much. Don't be celebrating their holiday that you know nothing about.
That's right. If I see a red hat at the taco stand, food cart.
For those of you working in the food service industry, make sure to put a little something in their MAGA food.
Yeah, like not serving MAGA today, thank you. That is tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. I hope somebody drops some Visine drops in your freaking teeth.
That's bad karma, don't say
No, I'm going to say it, Johnny, because if I didn't, I'd be a liar.
I know it.
So the DOJ dropped a desegregation suit that in Louisiana, desegregating public schools. So now they're allowing segregation again. Is this going to spread to more states? It's in a
you know what I
county
understand? You know what I don't understand about this whole thing? And it goes hand in hand with the whole abortion issues too. Why is it that certain states a woman has no right, and now soon to be blacks have no rights? What happened to the 14th Amendment? Are we just picking and choosing what parts of the Constitution we're going to be federal law and the rest just doesn't apply to us? Like, I don't understand.
The Civil Rights Act of the 60s, you know, let's just attack it all. We're taking you back to the 1700s.
And here's the thing. It's written in the Constitution. So it's amended in the Constitution. So I don't give a shit what toilet paper you're writing that on. It's null and void. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't understand it. Same thing with abortion. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
They want to rewrite the Constitution, you know, and they They don't want women to have the power to vote. They don't want to,
Jesus
black
Christ.
people to be able to vote, or brown people. They want a white America. I don't know why.
Buy an island and move there, and then take a bunch of white people with you.
I don't know. I don't get it in this day and age how that mindset has not evolved.
Echo chambers, Jen.
The only thing that gives me comfort here is, oh, you want a white nation? Hi, I'm white. You don't want me here, trust me, because I'm white. You can't. I was born here. My parents were born here. My father's a carrot top redhead. So, yeah. You want a white only country?
That's the thing I think that they don't fully grasp or understand. The majority of the people in this country are white, but the majority of the white people in this country are not like you. So you cannot then say, okay, we want the white nation, and then you're going to just drag all white people with you. No. Every time you have a march of any kind, there's white people and black people and orange people and everybody mixed together. The majority of the people in this country right now are white, and the majority of those white people are not like you. So you cannot have your own country here. Sorry, no.
There's a lot of integrated families now, whether it's religion, race, or whatever. They can't deal.
Go live on that Penguin Island that got tariffed.
McDonald's Island.
They're all black and white. I don't know about that.
Wonder how the tariffs are going there. Maybe he's negotiated a deal with the penguins.
The Penguin Island. Jesus Christ.
I bet he couldn't even get a deal with the penguins.
My God, the president of McDonald Island is Jimmy Neutron. So
I just what I don't understand about this whole thing, whether it's performative or whatever it is, either way, you're still hurting people and you're still hurting your own constituents. What I don't understand is this the way these people, these elected people are deep down to their core? Or is this the narrative that they believe because they're so stuck in their echo chamber that they think this is what the country wants? Either way, each individual answer is completely wrong. But what I don't understand is, why would you think that's okay? Do you see what I'm saying? So now we're going to get rid of desegregation. What's next?
Because Trump said it's okay.
It's okay to start lynching people. It's okay to start hanging people.
It's okay to hate. It's okay to hate.
Yeah, Trump taught them it's okay to hate.
It's legal. I don't get it. Spreads 8 of swords, 10 of wands. It's limited, it's powerless, and it's, mind you, it's already spread too far. If it went past one household, it spread too far. But there is not a mass thing. There's not like 14 states are going to do this type of thing. Could it be 2? Because Alabama and Mississippi are not that far away. So could there be 2 or 3? Sure, but this is not a mass thing. You shouldn't live in Mississippi anyway. Unless you do, then, I'm sorry for you. But.
Yeah, I get it stays small.
Oh, sorry.
It does spread, but I get it stays small. They get away with this power grab. Maybe 4 states, maybe, but it stays small because somebody's going 6 feet under. Some leader is going 6 feet under.
I'm getting there's just a ton of pushback. If some idiot somewhere tries to do something overt, the pushback will be massive, is what I'm getting. And the worst of, for what it's worth, the worst of racism in this country, world, Civil War level, is behind us.
That's another thing. They keep talking about Civil War. You're outnumbered again, like you were the last time.
You dumbasses lost the last time, you'll lose again. I mean, they're a bunch of cousin fuckers, Johnny. They don't know. 2-teeth cousin fuckers. I'm sorry to be so crass, but it's just like you're talking about people that are not educated, who think that they're the smartest person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I get no. Birds, coffin, scythe, whip, mice. That whole yippee yappy comes to an end. It's dead, either because there's a serious attack with the weapon and someone is hurt. But it's sudden. It's a sudden ending to that. There's an enormous amount of backlash, and not just backlash from the public, but backlash to the people that proposed this. And they're viewed as corrupt, and the conversations about how are we going to cut these people out? They're corrupt. So
these are the times I wish I believed in hell.
You and me both, Johnny.
Because you gotta have somewhere for people like that to go. Everybody goes to the light, and you could send someone the other way.
I want segregation from the
That's where we
assholes.
need segregation.
That's the kind of
You can be
segregation
in
I
here
want
with me.
from the assholes.
That's what I'm
Please.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We want segregation from the assholes and the idiots too that are running the country. I mean,
Okay, final question. Speaking of the idiots, MTG, Fishy Itchy Kitty, is starting to turn on Trump.
what?
Yeah.
No. Wait, what did I
He's-
miss? What did I miss? What did I miss?
He's against the Ukrainian minerals deal he did. She wants him to make the COVID vaccine approval, to pull the approval on the COVID vaccine because she doesn't believe that. And she thinks that he is setting up things to possibly go into war with Iran.
Oh, you know that's next, honey.
Yeah.
You know war is coming, whether it's constitutional or not, or approved by the
But we had to throw the science thing in there too because, it's MTG.
You know
So
what? I hope that woman gets every contagious, uncurable, sexually transmitted disease on top of every other contagious disease that she could ever have, and then sit there with her freaking
bleach
Neanderthal
blonde
face and tell me how medication and vaccines are bad. I wish that
with
on
her bleach blonde, bad built butch body. May every bleach blonde hair and muscle cell get
And
something.
Jenny, she's a hoe, and you know her boyfriend's a hoe too. So it's not like that's out of the realm of possibilities. I wish her every STD in the book. You know what? As a matter of fact, get some new ones that we don't know of yet.
Basically,
They can literally name it MTG after.
basically, you want one of the four men of the apocalypse, or four horsemen of the apocalypse. Pestilence. You want pestilence to go knock on her door. Be like,
Exactly.
hi.
An STD named after
Your
MTG.
results are in. You got that Marjorie Green.
Everything's green down there. You got that.
Marjorie Taylor Green, because I'm sure there's a very nice person out there named Marjorie Green.
Fishy Itchy Kitty.
Not the fish.
I just happen to have a little catnip fish handy.
I can't, dude. You can smell her 2 blocks away. Like, girl, that's not bacterial. I don't know what you got going on down there, but you might want
You
to
got that Marjorie Green.
or try to pray it away because you're so, Christian. Oh,
Don't ask me why I have a fish handy tonight. I just happen to notice it.
I'm dead serious. If I have any Etsy witches in the chat, make it happen. Make it happen.
Walking around scratching yourself with Brillo pads. You ain't getting that off, sister. No, ma'am.
Oh my god.
Dawn don't clean everything. No,
Oh my god.
Is this gonna grow? Is this split from her beloved Donald Trump going to grow?
yes, it is. Okay, let's see.
Just with her or with other?
Just with
MAGA.
MTG.
You
She's
want
such
She's
a
a loud
cheerleader.
one.
you
The
don't like
barking chihuahua. Not to give barking chihuahuas a bad name, but that's what
I
she
wonder why
sounds
they
like.
don't want war. They want everything else he wants.
She feels slighted. I mean, remember when she was in a red dress waiting when he got off the plane and all that? He just went poof, right past her. And he hasn't pulled her out of the House of Representatives to go hang out in the $19 million penthouse or whatever it was. She's mad.
I would love for her to become angry and rant on Donald Trump, because that is the one person's wrath she cannot withstand. Well, that and New Yorkers, but that is the one person's wrath she cannot withstand. The Eight of Swords and the Six of Swords. I think she'll be reined in, though. There's the Eight of Swords, and I think she will retreat from her current position. Her power will be gone, or at least her voice will be gone. The Nine of Pentacles and the King of Wands, she'll fall back into suit because that's where her secure spot is. But I would love for her to go on a tweet rant about how Donald Trump's the worst person on earth, because I want to see what he's going to say to her.
You know what, though? Donald Trump's up there with Laura Loomer, and those two have beef. MTG yes.
Don't let him.
Saying he's causing me to lose my base. She's worried about getting reelected.
I get a new contracted sexually transmitted disease. Maybe I'm wishing this, but there's new contract sex. Maybe I influenced the cards because that's what I was thinking of. The question of it'll spread. She's saying, yeah, there's going to be disruptions in that relationship, but
it's going to spread like a contracted disease. It's going to spread and grow like a contracted disease.
This is painful too. It's kind of like a burn.
Itchy kitty.
She got crotch rot.
I'm not even. My cards are so boring. I'm not even going to answer. Just.
I think she's turning her back on him, and the messaging here is getting pretty dark. She's changed and not collaborating. She's like blocking collaborations. She's trying to maintain her strength as a Republican, but it's almost like as a independent Republican. She's not identifying with Trump because she's trying to hang on to her base. So I think this will grow.
I hope so. I would love to see the war between those two. Absolutely.
And she's such a pick-me girl that I think she would back down. She would immediately back down because she's such a pick-me, and all he has to do is, fine, I'll just primary you.
And he's a bigger disease than she is, so he will.
I think she recognizes that her rise to where she's at now is because of him.
Because of him. Yeah.
So she might be a weasel, a rat, a snake, a freaking cockroach. She knows better than to bite the hand that's feeding her.
I want her to do it, though.
I know, I do too, Johnny, especially with him having the DOJ going after everybody he doesn't like. Please.
Bite down, molars and all. Even Fetterman is in support of Trump in the war.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not. Come on, Marjorie. You're at bat, lady. What you going to do?
She'll back down, but I want to see it blow up in her
He keeps
face.
talking about wanting to build a golden dome here, and I don't think it's for his golden showers. He wants a golden dome here, which means he wants to incite some kind of war action, so we need protection from it. And it's going to be Iran probably. He's got agreements running that way, but it's crazy.
And then what's the Congress going to do when they don't approve a war and he's getting one into us anyway?
Gets us involved in one.
Yeah, so he's illegally abducting people off the streets and deporting them. He's going after judges and arresting them. He's now threatening the Supreme Court. Next, he's going to start threatening members of Congress, and then he's going to start an illegal war.
And U.S. citizens. I'll just, we got to get the homegrowns now.
No, that's what I said, Jen, deporting people,
So this is why it's important to to support places like the ACLU that we're fundraising for tonight. We have raised $29.36 so far. The donate button will still be active, indefinitely on this video, so you can come back anytime and donate to them. 100% goes to them. So check back because we have a lot of people that watch our videos on Mondays and Tuesdays. Check back and watch that number grow. It'll grow during the week. Thank you all for your generous donations. Thank you, Autumn, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And we really appreciate your support for this. Next week on Becca's channel, House of Lenormand. Bye.
It'll be during Peanut's birthday weekend, so I might be a little bit, Actually, Peanut's birthday is in 3 days, but we're having his birthday party this weekend, so I'll be a little bit out of it.
Watch our post in case you need to flip it to, with Johnny or something to do a different weekend.
I'll be fine. I have no problem kicking people out of my house when I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't mess with Becca when she wants to go to sleep. Thank you for joining us. Good night.